You can't have a discussion about the best burgers in Phoenix without talking about Paradise Valley Burger Company. I'm Blair Ballin with Living North Phoenix, and I am super excited to be here today with Brett Shapiro, the owner and founder of Paradise Valley Burger Company. Let everyone know where you're located.
We're on 40th Street in Bell, 4001 East Bell Road, Phoenix, Arizona, 85032.
Tell us, how did this all start? Where did it begin?
So I actually respond to a chef ad on Craigslist. They were looking for a chef to come into the restaurant that was here before. I started writing a new menu, started developing a lot of different things, and then part of the way through that, they actually were like, you know what, we're just gonna close, we're done. They closed, I reached out to the landlord, I was like, hey, I got this concept, I really believe in it, let me take over the equipment, yada yada, and then long story short, I opened, no experience, and we're still here. It's 11 and a half years later.
And what's that ride been like? I mean, recently we've had COVID. What's the entire experience been like?
Yeah, the ride has been pretty intense, I'm not gonna lie. It's especially because we started at like, no one knew who we were, no one knew who I was, and we've kind of went from the ground to the top and just kind of trying to stay at the top. I have an amazing team around me, super loyal staff. I've got the same guy, Brian, he's been here for 11 and a half years, got a really qualified managers working for us and amazing employees, so that's why your food tastes so good.
So Diners, Dives, and Guy Fieri, tell us about that experience.
This is about 7 years ago. We got a phone call, hey, this is the producer of Diners, Dives, and Dives. So I'm on the phone, I'm in the middle of the lunch rush. She's like, is this a bad time? Do you want me to call back? I was like, it's up to you. She's like, yeah, we'll call back. I'm like, sure. So I hang up the phone. We don't hear back from him for like 3 weeks. So I'm like, oh my God, like I just let it go, I couldn't believe it. Long story short, they called us back and they're like, yeah, gave us maybe about like, I'm gonna say 45 minutes to an hour and a half conversations with the producer if we're qualified. A week beforehand, they're calling us like, hey, we're gonna be there in a week. Here's a laundry list of stuff you need to do. And the rest is history. We shot the show, and when they left, before it even aired, the next day our sales doubled. Just from like, buzz in the street and stuff like that. And then 3 months later it aired, and then at that point they tripled, and it was just literally lines out the door, craziness.
And you guys have stayed true to what you started with. You've weathered the storm, you're continuing to weather it, and it shows up in the service and food, so that's awesome.
We are very loyal to our vendors too, and I feel like that's a big thing. All the meat has been purchased from the same company, all of our buns from the same company, so we work really hard just to keep things consistent. I feel like we have our special board, which is always changing, always getting crazy, but we want to know when people come in, they're going to be like heartwarming, the same burger that has been keeping me happy for a decade and plus now.
You guys have also opened a pizza place.
Yeah, absolutely.
In the same center, just a couple doors down. Tell us about that.
Yeah, that's Paradise Valley Pizza Company, had a very clever name for that one. And yeah, really what we do over there is New York style, thin, crispy, but we have a very Southwestern flair going on. I love the pizza. When you walk into the parking lot after you have the pizza, if you've had the burgers, your head's gonna start exploding because you're not gonna be sure what to do. And I always like to tell people, eat the burgers and then take the pizza to go. So just wanted to say a big thank you to people like yourself who have been supporting the joint for 10 years plus. I've discussed the quality of food, I discussed the vendors, I discussed the employees, and all these are extremely important, but they would not be possible without your continued support. So thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Thanks again for doing this. Those watching, remember to visit both Paradise Valley Burger Company and Paradise Valley Pizza Company. Also visit livingnorthphoenix.com, and remember to support local. Thanks for watching.